his work here. Last show for the season, Kickback Jack on Thursday. Dennis White in the house. Going to get Dennis on board. Dennis, how are you?
I'm doing real good, Andy. Good to see you again.
Yeah, I had a good talk with those kids. We talked about a lot of stuff like those Page kids. I think we covered some good material. Should be good for viewing later on the YouTube video. But those kids had a good talk, just like talking family, man. Yeah.
You know, those as we say each year, when you talk to these kids, they are very smart, very articulate, and
I like to try to get more out of them, just the basic stuff.
Right,
and then get into
right.
some good stuff. Those kids did great.
Yeah, smart kids are, you know, and that let people know that kids today playing football, that here football focus, they focus more than on football.
Yeah, and people got to realize too, every place you go, it's all about education.
Yeah,
everything's education. Sports
absolutely.
and education both. You combine them both in every facet of life, really.
Right, and then you know, take your story you was telling me about when when we was growing up, how you used to have spelling tests every Thursday.
My mom,
you know,
words every Thursday night.
Right, and that's I think that's almost a lost art now, writing in cursive and and then spelling tests. And writing it all.
Yeah.
And you know, my one of the things growing up was the newspaper.
Right.
And today I'm still religious to the newspaper. I mean, I have apps, I have everything for newspaper.
You won't be able to catch the Rhino Times anymore.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Times change, man.
Yeah, times have changed, absolutely.
And I still remember back when you were in young education, early elementary school, the big thick pencil.
Yes.
Pencil was about that thick.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
That pencil was thick. You could use that pencil for firewood on a bad night.
And you can use that pencil almost a half a year. You know,
yeah, you can also use that pencil. Some kids use that pencil as a weapon. Pop them in the head with that pencil. It would hurt.
Absolutely.
That lead was thick pencil. What about some of these football games? I'm going to go over some of our teams playing tomorrow night. Northwest at Charlotte Vance. Northwest 4-7. Vance is 10-1. They practice at Wake Forest, I think, this week indoors. That was a pretty good idea. What about Northwest trying to get that win on the road?
Well, Charlotte Vance is a team that we have to see more of. They do a lot with Dudley. Charlotte Vance have came into Guilford County.
Coach Brand is the coach here.
Yeah,
Coach Brand has been there a while.
Right.
He was going to go to Northern Guilford, didn't work out.
But
he stayed at Vance, had that quarterback in Bede that year. Had an interest in first in Mr. Bede. That guy was a heck of a quarterback. They've had good teams.
Right, real good teams. And I know the athletic director well, Carlos Richardson. He was one of my former church member when he was at fact at Norfolk State in college. Yeah, he was in college. Played baseball, big time in baseball. Played in the MEAC conference in baseball. And so I'm going with Vance.
Vance.
Yeah, Vance over Northwest.
What about Glenn? 5-6 at Ragsdale, 7-4. We saw Ragsdale last week.
You made me a believer of Ragsdale during the summer of how their military style, and Ragsdale last year had a good run, and their Brewington team.
Round one, Brewington 38-35. Beat him at Ragsdale, Donovan Brewington. But Donovan's got 29 touchdown passes, 2,200 yards. They got beat by Pine Forest 14-7 last week. I think they've got 2 losses. But Mr. Brewington's team is doing well, and they beat Ragsdale last year.
Yeah, and when you look at it, the matchups, you don't know who you're going to play again, who you may see in the third or fourth round. So I think Ragsdale will get by that first round.
What about Southwest and South Iredale? South Iredale 6-5, Southwest 8-3. Southwest new quarterback now. Rogers, Devin Flowers, may be off the team now. Hard to believe.
Yeah, and when you look at Flowers, that's been a name that you've been talking about all year.
Back in middle school, man. That was the key, baby.
Absolutely. Wow. And so for Coach Rainey, you have to feel.
Coach Rainey does the job. He makes a decision. He goes on. He don't look back. He goes forward and keeps his team clicking.
Right. Because you remember a couple of years ago, even when his son was involved,
he suspended his son.
So
first 2 games of the year. Yeah.
And so he's one that follow the rules and move on. So I'm going with Southwest.
Southwest on the road to win. Dudley at Lee County. Dudley facing an 11-0 Lee County team. Dudley still having some troubles this year, trying to still find themselves, trying to find that rhythm. They've struggled some at quarterback this year.
And one of the things you and I always talk about in high school football, the identity. Who's going to be the face of the franchise? For years, everybody knew who was going to be that face for Dudley for the franchise of quarterback. Quarterback role at Dudley has gotten into numerous of state playoffs and
Lewis,
state championships. Emmanuel Mosley, Hendon Hooker,
List goes on.
And when you look at what had happened, they suffered at quarterback. Defense has not been superior.
Trey Perry the third. Remember Trey Perry back in there?
And as you said, the plethora of guys that you can continue to name. And when you look at what had happened over at Panther Stadium, the offense. Dudley is known for defense. Offense have kept them alive, because if you can score on a team offensively, your defense is going to do its job at Dudley. That's been the forte of Dudley. That's been the forte. That's been their defense. And so the offense is down. So Dudley, I'm going to have to go with Lee County on this.
Lee County to get that win tomorrow night, round one. Greenville Rose at Eastern Guilford. Rose comes in. That's J.H. Rose out of Greenville NC, 8-3. Eastern Guilford, 9-2.
And you said it best 3 years ago. First and second rounds is not a gimme anymore if you don't win your conference. If you come in second and third place, you can be playing a team second and third place. It's not no more that the second place team playing somebody 8th and 9th place, and you know you have a gimme. So now it's harder to get by the first round if you don't win the conference outright. So with Eastern Gifford's case this year, it shows. And you stated many years ago that you wish that they would just, whenever they do the poll, whenever they do the pairings, that you look at the first three top teams, give those guys a bye, then allow the other guys below to play. And that way you won't have to travel 3 and 4 hours, as we have seen teams in the past. So when you look at it, what happens is Eastern Gifford now is going to be in a battle. Last year they had a couple of cakewalks, and then they had some tough guys. Where some fight came in, they had they had an easier schedule that third round. So now it's going to be a great game. But I think if Eastern can find a way, I've been following Eastern all year long, if they can find a way to get their bigs in the game, their playmakers, because the offensive line, everybody knows if you go away from Eric Walker, you can get to Kamel Smith. So they've really been attacking Smith. So if Smith goes, so the offense goes.
So if they can get that offense started, the defense will take care of itself.
The defense will take care of itself, absolutely.
Okay, the offense cranked up. What about Cape Fear, 7-4 at Southeast, 10-1?
Southeast Gifford is a team that is no longer known as can they do it. Now, the team now is will they do it. Under the old coach, Fritz Hessenthal, can they do it? Now, under the new coach, the young coach Tinsley, will they do it? So,
and now the fans are saying they better do it.
They better do it. And one of them
expectations are high.
The expectations are very high, because you have whetting their appetite. These guys believe in themselves. They have an outstanding quarterback, outstanding. And so they're more one-dimensional now, so Southeast.
How about Northern Guilford at Cleveland? They're taking on the Cleveland Rams tomorrow night. So the Browns, they play the Rams. Cleveland 9-2, Northern 8-3.
And the Northern went down to Eastern Alamance and had a chance and blew a close ball game. Northern shocked a lot of people this year. So I think Northern defense is coming around. I'm going to go with Northern on this one.
How about Northeast, 6-5 at Terry Sanford, 8-3?
And as bad as we want to, the Northeast first time been in the playoffs in what, Andy, in 10 years maybe, or?
Well, they were there a couple of times, but the thing that really stands out is the fact that Coach Bates has had playoff teams go to the second and third round when he was at Moorhead and at Southern Guilford.
To really advance in the playoffs and not just be a first round one and done. So I think when you look at Northeast, to get to the second round, Terry Sanford is a team that I've looked at. The defenses are awesome. Great defense, outstanding linebacker. So I'm going to go with Northeast. I think we're going to give this edge to Bates.
Edge to Bates, good call. Coach Fritz, Southern Alamance at D.H. Conley. Conley 8-3, Southern Alamance 9-2.
D.H. Conley last year had one of the best quarterbacks. Everybody was talking about the big guy. Absolutely. And so he's not there this year. So Fritz Hessenthal, I seen this team, they played against Eastern Gifford and they went down to the wire. It was a battle. Eastern beat them at the end. So I'm going to go with Hessenthal.
All right, we got Page with a bye, Grimsley with a bye, and they'll go in round 2 next week. What about Coach of the Year in Guilford County?
There's no doubt, hands down, Coach Tinsley with my vote from Southeast.
Okay.
He taken a Southeast team that have identified themselves now. You beat a Delta, you beat a Eastern, you beat the top teams in Guilford County, and you ought to be honored now that you can beat the tough teams.
You know, Coach Fritz didn't beat a single team in Guilford County, but beat every team in Alamance County. Swept the county down. He's like an area Coach of the Year consideration for him. Player of the Year, what about that?
Player of the Year this year.
Into the regular season, Player of the Year, Guilford County.
When you look at it, to me, and I was as a matter of fact on the website looking at all the numbers.
Yeah.
And I know they left out Eastern. Unfortunately, I don't have any stats because of the way they did the format. And I was very surprised at the quarterback at Southeast. He's having a phenomenal year because
14 touchdowns rushing.
Yeah, because they're not a passing team. A quarterback usually don't get the one touchdown.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking at, and could he get the Guilford County?
I'd say it's between him and Javondre
And
Page.
Javondre Page. The two,
Yeah.
That's what I did. The two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So it hadn't been two quarterbacks in a long time. So I think either one of those guys would get my vote.
What about Eastern Guilford, Southeast Guilford in round 2? Do you see that?
If they get I see it, and I think that it's going to be a big difference the second time. Because when you play a team a first time, you didn't realize how good they were. Second time, it's a little different. So I think it would be a good game, and the outcome may be the same of the points wise, but it's going to be a different set.
Hope it happens. Like to see that game.
I like to see that game. I know that'd be one you'll be at.
Love to be there. Love to see it too. Green Bay Packers at the Seahawks tonight. Both coaches looking to maybe get out of there.
Yeah, you're right. So I think I was watching Russell Wilson last week. His performance, he doesn't have it. And Aaron Rodgers, everybody was on the Aaron Rodgers train. So I think it's going to be a defensive struggle. I'll give that to Green Bay Packers.
Packers on the road, big win tonight. What about the Panthers at the Lions on Sunday, playing Coach Patricia?
Yeah, Matt Patricia.
3-6.
Yeah, Matt Patricia came from Carolina. I think redemption because of the whooping they took from Pittsburgh Steelers. I've got to know Cam Newton and the Panthers is going to be geared and ready, and they'll beat Detroit by 3 touchdowns.
I told Joe Sarah, I wish they'd just go ahead and move that game up a couple of days and play it on Thanksgiving Day. We can watch that game on TV.
That'd be a good one to watch.
The Lions are playing every Thanksgiving.
Every Thanksgiving.
Since 19 whatever.
Yeah.
Many years.
That's a good point.
Wake Forest on Saturday, playing Pitt. Got a chance to do some damage against Pitt.
You're right. They have some. Pitt is playing some good ball right now. Pitt is coming around.
Oh yeah.
Pitt is no longer the team down at the bottom of the barrel anymore in ACC. So I love Wake, but I'm gonna have to. I know it's senior day, but I'm gonna have to give it to Pitt.
What about NC State Louisville? NC State's reeling from that loss to Wake last 1 week ago. I saw last just came to Sheets down the street after our game between Page and Ragsdale. Went down and got a sandwich at Sheets coming home. Saw that last part of the kid Jamie Newman out of Graham beats NC State, but State must come back somehow.
State have to come back. Louisville is down. They're way down.
They got an interim coach Petrino fired this week.
2 or 3, yeah.
Got beat by Clemson 77-14.
That was and I know that was an embarrassment for Louisville, and with the new coaching change, it's going to happen again this week. No, NC State. I'm going to State.
How about Duke at Clemson?
Oh, there's no doubt. Dabo Swinney and the Tigers, they are clicking on all cylinders.
They got Dexter Lawrence in the backfield as a back right now. They got the fridge package. Big Lawrence out of Wake Forest High School.
Right.
He's back in that backfield. He was 6'3", 280 when he was in the 9th grade.
That's amazing.
He didn't want to play football. He said, I'm going to just play basketball.
Wow.
Coach Reggie Lucas at Wake Forest said, let's go take you to play football. He goes, I want to play football. He says, you're on the varsity team, 9th grade. He said, good. And he joined the team.
And
first game, he jumped in the backfield, tackled some guy, never looked back.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
What about UNC in Western Carolina? Heels, Carolina versus Carolina, North versus Western.
You know, my Heels have to leave with their head up. Now you're playing for pride, and so the Heels.
Heels got to do something.
Yes, sir.
That'll be win number 2. And how close are we to seeing Coach Fedora maybe leaving? Is he a short-term coach at North Carolina right now?
I think Fedora is right on the end of the stick. They may, if he get one more year, and I'll be surprised. But the thing it is, one of the good things about Fedora is his past recruiting. He's been able to get some guys, and you know everybody gonna look at the scandal. If the scandal didn't happen, where would they be? So I think you'll get one more year.
Quick Page trivia. You know any Page trivia? You know Page?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Page.
Principal at Page right now.
I don't,
Brand new.
Brand new. I don't know the name.
Eric Nagley. They've got 3 current athletic directors taking Rusty's place. Who are the 3 current acting athletic directors at Page? Know any of those?
No, I have no.
Debbie Jones.
Oh, Debbie Jones.
Debbie
Wow.
Jones, Matt Harder, and Lindsay Ivy. Mr. Ivy. You got 3 people doing that spot right now at Page.
That's amazing.
They maybe do it the rest of the year. Boys basketball coach.
Boy, Harder.
Coach Harder. Girls basketball coach.
Johnson.
You know Ed Johnson. That's good. Baseball coach.
Baseball coach. Not hard. Oh my goodness. Oh man, what's that? It's not White, is it? No.
Harden. William Harden.
William Harden.
Big William. Name of the football stadium.
Marion Kirby Stadium.
You got that right. Starting point guard for the Charlotte Hornets.
Kimball Walker.
You got it. Carolina Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup about 15 years ago. What sport do they play?
Hockey. That's
You got
hockey,
it.
man. Yeah, hockey all day.
We're done then.
Yeah, we're wrapped up.
Eastern Guilford wins tomorrow night. You'll be there at home?
Yeah, be at home. Probably to halftime. The cold weather. So
yeah.
I missed the press box. I missed being in the press box.
It's a little different outside, isn't it?
It's a big difference outside, you know.
I forgot to get them. I know if the Page guys are still. I forgot to give them their plaque. What those guys are still here. We'll try to find them. Dennis, good job as always. Don Moore, good job as always. Kickback Jacks for Thursday Football in Focus. We'll see you at the next ball game at GreensboroSports.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and have a good week.
Good night, everybody.
Those guys still around.